Hello everyone and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Gambit, where I'm not sure what just happened aside from the lights going out and the killer escaping. I have to say, for an intro chapter, this is a lot more in depth than I was expecting. Like this is a good way to start. Must have been knocked unconscious. Sir, you're okay. Are you alright, Mr. Edgeworth?
Never mind me. He didn't hurt you, did he, Hay?
Nah, I'm fine. I only just woke up myself. My head will be sore for a while, but that's about it, so you can stop worrying.
Detective, did you manage to stop the killer? Remember, your pay depends on it.
Well, see, Miss Lloyd came running out of the plane and, she told us he'd flown the coop. We were too late. I'm sorry, sir. Bodyguard over there told us something too. Seems there's an inflatable boat missing from by the window. The killer must have stolen it and rowed himself across the lake.
What about the cordon around the park?
I called everybody back in to stake out the plane. Oh, including the guy stationed across the water.
No, so he's completely slipped through our fingers.
Not the best look for the department, but yeah. Hey, Edgeworth.
Mr. Knight, you're alive.
Yeah, no thanks to that murderer. Oh, that reminds me. I found this line on the ground next to you, Mr. Edgeworth.
The calling card, marked with a seashell.
Guess he wanted to leave a message. I find the assassin shelled the killer when he made his escape adorned with his distinctive seashell emblem.
The killer usually leaves these next to the bodies of his victims.
But you're not dead, sir.
But I could have been. Maybe that's the message.
Stop thinking about his parting words. I've seen enough, and now I know the truth. I leave the rest in your capable hands, Mr. Edgeworth, so he knows who did it. And it's not him, which is crazy. Now I know the truth about what? The case. Roger that. I'll clear out of here, sir. Over. What's going on? That was the president. He's coming out.
No.
You know, after he almost left you to die. Oh, he's the president of Jingfa, Mr. Dijon Wang. And you are?
It's an honor to meet you, Mr. President. My name is Miles Edgeworth.
The honor is all mine, Mr. Edgeworth. I am Dijon Wang. Your efforts on behalf of Jingfa have not gone unnoticed. You averted something of a crisis. He must be referring to the Yatagarasu case.
Thank you, sir, but all I did was solve a few local cases of murder.
You are too humble. I have been observing your investigation. You are an impressive operator, Mr. Edgeworth, even if the killer did get away.
That's very kind of you to say.
So he was watching through a security feed. Sadly, I must inform you that this is as far as your investigation goes.
What do you mean?
Hear me, foolish prosecutor, for I shall say this only once. Knight has apprised me of the state of affairs. And from this point forward, the case will be handled by Jingfa's police force, the finest in the world. Even with the killer out of the picture, they're still looking to get me thrown off the case? What do you think you're doing, pal? Nobody talks to Mr. Edgeworth like that. If it hadn't been for him, the killer would have...
Detective. Forgive him, Mr. President, but I must confess to being somewhat confused. I fail to see how or why this case falls within Jingfa's jurisdiction.
You fail to see? Enough, puny prosecutor. You seek explanations from the head of state. I say no, 1,000 times no. I will not explain myself to you. Now hand over the evidence you have gathered and remove yourself from this plane. I'd do as he says if I were you, Edgeworth. This can't really be the end of the line, can it? No! Don't take my evidence! Case evidence handed to Mr. Knight. No! Why? Why let us come so far only to pull the case out from under us? Now you may leave. Knight, detain the suspect. Yes, sir, right away. To make an attempt on my life, to murder one of my faithful servants. The effrontery, the villainy. I didn't murder nobody, 'cause I... Shut your mouth, Miss Journalist. Answer me this. In a world already lousy with lies, with deception, with sin and iniquity, can we stand by and suffer yet another crime to go unpunished? I say no, 1,000 times no. There can be no forgiveness. There can be no surrender. Why, you ask me? Then I will tell you. I don't think I asked why. He's hiding something, I'm certain of it. And if I leave now, we'll never know the truth. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, there's got to be something we can do. I think I'm starting to get a handle on this. So, my current theory is that it was some sort of inside job to lure out to kill her. That's all I got. I don't know how, why, who, any of that, but that's kind of where I'm going.
Think, Miles, remember. How many times have you faced situations like this in the courtroom? You've confronted the lies of witnesses and countered the arguments of other lawyers. Has the critical evidence always been laid at your feet? No. And yet you always got the truth of the situation in the end. With your greatest weapon of all, your words.
Oh, we're playing chess again.
Now let us analyze the state of play.
Ooh, he's playing too. Be gone, puny prosecutor, or do you dare defy direct order of a president? He's not going to listen. He clearly means to drown out any objections by means of pure rhetorical force. When an opponent is on the offensive, the best thing I can do is buy my time and wait for an opening. Okay, that's probably good.
As he said himself, he's head of state, a seasoned politician. He won't open himself up to attack easily. I can't let him bully me into submission. I have to stay calm and alert. And if I can read his movements and expressions correctly, I may be able to find my moment. My first aim should be to find out why he is insisting on Xingfa taking over the case. The board is set. The time to make my opening gambit.
Who will take up? Explain to me why I'm off the case. So who will take over the case? Did I give you permission to speak? No, 1,000 times no. Whoop. Ooh. I don't know. It did say kind of like to let him... Let's try that. I'm the leader of Xingfa. I have no time for your insolent backchat. Alright, I didn't say anything.
I was simply hoping to confirm one basic fact. You say the investigation will now be assigned to your national police force?
I do. Now enough of your pointless questions. Alright. That one doesn't make any sense, but I gotta do something eventually. Good boy. The interior of this plane is the sovereign territory of Xingfa. You have no rights here. Is that so? Could it be that our current location itself is significant somehow? I should keep that in mind. It could be a useful clue. Ooh, okay, so something regarding the plane. Oh, we're back here. I guess I'll try this one.
Could you at least explain to me why I'm off the case?
Imbecile. Cease your insolent jabbering. I need not explain myself to you. My reasons are my own. They are none of your concern.
Perhaps it's time to employ my clue.
Oh, wait. Yeah, oh, there we go.
In the course of our conversation, I've deduced certain facts from your behavior, Mr. President. For example, you seem particularly aggressive when discussing our current location.
Ooh! You smarmy smart aleck.
As you said yourself, the presidential plan is the sovereign territory of Xingfa. And from that we can infer that you believe the rules of extraterritoriality apply inside here. Is that correct?
Ooh, enough. Cease your objectionable whining. Things too hot for you or by... Oh, God.
You can rant and roar all you like, but you won't escape my scrutiny. It was unmistakable. The moment I mentioned extraterritoriality, you became visibly agitated.
Ooh, okay, we got one. Do I get my time back? Because... Ooh. Please? Please? You think you're clever, don't you? Let me answer your little question. It's true, extraterritoriality applies. Your laws mean nothing here. And Why does that matter, you ask? It matters because it means you are powerless. You have neither influence nor authority here.
Interesting, so the extraterritoriality issue does have something to do with all of this. Let's dig a little deeper into the claim that the plane is sovereign territory, shall we?
Oh, that's good.
The next move will surely decide the victor. What? He may be the president, but nobody's untouchable. I just have to find the right angle of attack.
You overplayed your hand, or does that rule really apply here? I want, because he's really forcing it, so I want to go that way.
Surely you see that you've overplayed your hand.
Yeah, he's just like forcing the issue so much. I wonder if there's a way I could pause that. I bet I could go to this, like, the switch menu and give myself extra time to think that through. Although I wouldn't have that all in front of me. We won't do that. Whatever. Nobody asked your opinion. You need only obey me, nothing else. I don't really feel like this, do you really think I'll obey you matters? You dare tell me how to govern, how to lead? You dare contradict me?
The matter of Miss Lloyd's guilt, yes I do.
No, she is guilty. She is the culprit. There's nothing left to debate. Oh, wait, I don't want to say any of that. Can I get better options? Who else could have fired from outside the plane? There's no other viable suspect. No, that's not true. Fascinating. So he's claiming that Miss Lloyd fired at him from outside the plane? This could be a vital clue. Well, if he's saying that it was out... there we go. If he's saying it's outside of the plane, then it comes back into our jurisdiction. Oh, alright, I guess we'll go with that one.
You believe that extraterritoriality applies here, but can you prove it?
You understand what you are asking?
Of course, if I didn't, I wouldn't ask it.
Have you no shame going to question the good word of one such as myself? I don't want to push that. Nope. That one I could tell I was not supposed to do anything with. I have no more time for this. You clearly cannot be saved from your own foolishness.
You needn't worry about me. I'm not the one who needs saving. That would be Miss Lloyd, the woman who is being wrongfully accused of this crime.
Your chivalry is admirable, but it changes nothing. The right to extraterritoriality cannot be denied. This is Jing Fa.
Time to deploy my clue.
Yep, there we go.
I might not be able to call the extraterritoriality of the presidential plane into doubt. However, according to you, she shot at you from outside the aircraft, correct? In which case, extraterritoriality could not possibly apply in this case. Your assertion is entirely without merit, and the detainment of Miss Lloyd cannot be justified.
That was good. How could I have? I mostly felt like I understood what I was doing in that one. Bested by a mere prosecutor, but I am the president. The president!
Checkmate.
Oh, I got all my health back. Probably because they realized that's really hard.
I trust you won't mind if we continue our investigation now, Mr. President.
I hereby, officially, and unreservedly confirm my approval. Considered a gesture of the magnanimity and generosity for which my good office is known. Yes, for without noble acts such as this, unmistakably and irrefutably, for which reason we hereby... There can be no other outcome, for our goals are lofty and our hearts... Someone else writes your speeches for you, don't they? So we're here now, this investigation will continue. All that when he could have just said, okay, you got me.
Mr. Knight, if you would care to return the evidence.
Take it. Yes! We did it, Mr. Edgeworth!
We sure did, and now the investigation can continue.
Whatever, enjoy your pocket full of pawns. I'll be over here enjoying how you put them into play.
Then you will definitely enjoy my next move. Mr. President, one more favor if you would be so kind.
What is it?
Could you please give us your testimony concerning the incident itself?
Oh no. Now you want me to testify? Whoa, that's your next move? If you want the president to testify, you'll have to take him to court.
All in good time, Mr. Knight. He will get his day in court soon enough. But if a person of interest refuses to cooperate at the investigation stage of the process, they are obliged to provide detailed justification as to their reasons for doing so.
That's...
What's the matter? Is there something you'd rather we didn't know?
Stand down, Knight. I'll do as the prosecutor asks.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Now listen, and listen well. Oop, here we go. President Wang's testimony. Where was I when the incident occurred? The stage, of course. Suddenly, Rook and Knight jumped in front of me. Then, bang! A shot rang out, and a plain, unblemished balloon of red exploded nearby. Not hesitating for an instant, my bodyguards tried to escort me back to the safety of the plane. And then, the second shot. The bullet went right through Rook and lodged itself in this bulletproof vest I was wearing. I guess if you look at it in one way, the president is also a victim here.
Yes, but the victim of an attempted assassination. Rook was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But that makes it even weirder. Why would the target of a crime try to obstruct the investigation?
My guess is that there's something behind all this that he doesn't want made public.
A cover-up, huh? I knew there was more to this case than meets the eye. And the president isn't the only one who knows the truth. Isn't that right, Mr. Knight? Yeah. Time to get to the bottom of this once and for all.
Hold it!
How would you describe the incident exactly?
Oh, you naive little man. Do you really think your silly, simple question will shake me? I was involved in a craven attempt to silence me with cold steel. And while speaking to my adoring public, no less.
Hold it!
When they stepped in to protect you, were you aware of the fact that you were being targeted?
Was I aware of the... No, I was aware of my audience, nothing else. When I step up to the podium, I enter another world entirely. A place of rapture, a place beyond words. Yeah, I think that's called stage fright. I bet you were like a deer in headlights. No, 1,000 times no. I remember every second. Each moment is indelibly etched into my memory. When Rook and Knight stepped in, I was shocked, overwhelmed, taken aback. Say it one more time and I'll believe you.
Hold it!
Okay.
About that red balloon.
What are you trying to test me, Mr. Prosecutor?
No, Mr. President, I simply wish to confirm what you remember.
Very well. There were two very large, very round balloons, one on either side of the stage. Their deep crimson hue stood stark against the sky, just as the security plane said they would. The same security plane we found on the trash can, I assume. Rook and Knight leapt to my aid just before the balloon exploded.
You said they tried to escort you back onto the plane.
Yes, that is exactly what I said. They threw open their attache cases. It must be the moment K captured on camera, and immediately moved to help me back onto the aircraft.
Hold it!
Okay.
Do you know where that second bullet went?
Is this how you treat a foreign dignitary? Do you really think such needling questions are necessary? Whoa, what's he so upset about? Must you insist on going over the same details over again and again? Even my patience has its limits. You know full well where it went. At the Rook and lodge itself, the bulletproof vest.
Hold
Yep.
it!
If I may ask, what was the victim like at that moment?
He was a man amongst men, a real hero. The mere impact of the bullet took my breath away, and yet he had the strength to grab me and rush me back inside of the presidential plane.
So you and the victim entered the plan together, is that correct?
Yes, he offered me his noble protection, and I gladly accepted it. All was as it should be.
That sounds nice and all, but doesn't that just mean he's always the first to make his escape?
He's the president detective. It's basically in the job description to do so.
Nothing he's saying seems too off base. Guy's the victim here. Wouldn't make much sense for him to lie to us, you know? Guess we gotta assume he's telling the...
No, one of the things he said is clearly wrong. Think back to the scene of the crime.
Huh? Did we miss something? Alright, let me see that evidence again. Might as well take another look at myself. What do I got? Okay. So that's gotta be after the first shot was fired. He's still got the dot on his head. Okay, hold on. Suddenly Rook and Knight jumped in front of me. So after the first shot was fired, then bang, a shot rang out. Plain unblemished balloon of red exploded nearby. That doesn't seem right. Something's off about that. Huh. I feel like that doesn't match. And the second shot, the bullet went right through Rook and lodged itself in the bulletproof vest I was wearing. Right, nope, I don't. I wanted to go back. Suddenly, Rook and Knight jumped in front of me. Then, bang! A shot rang out, and a plain, unblemished balloon of red exploded nearby. Next, I hit the flag, popped the balloon, but I wouldn't call it a red, like, unblemished balloon.
Objection!
You say it was a plain red balloon that burst, but I strongly beg to differ.
Yeah.
Take a look at this. I think you'd agree it's that it's hardly plain, wouldn't you?
No! What? Who is that?
Mr. President, meet the Steel Samurai. I would have hoped you might recognize him, especially if you're hoping to ingratiate yourself with the people of this country.
Yeah, you need to watch the Gambit Ninja too. He's amazing.
So you see, the balloon that was struck by the bullet was anything but plain. He was in fact of the Steel Samurai.
But the briefing mentioned 2 plain red balloons.
He wasn't even paying attention.
And there they are, right on the security plan.
Which changed. They do look pretty plain, don't they? Just simple round balloons.
Knight, what is the meaning of this? Explain yourself.
Yes, Mr. President. It seems the Steel Samurai balloon was borrowed at the last minute, sir.
Borrowed.
That's what we were told. Guess they only reported the incident to us bodyguards, though. Seems there was little trouble here on site last night. One of the original balloons burst somehow.
So they swapped it in as an emergency replacement?
Yeah, one of the stall holders happened to have it.
Ooh.
From what I hear, he was more than willing to lend it out.
Oh, that's so suspicious.
A very happy-go-lucky kind of guy, they said.
Happy-go-lucky stallholder with a steel samurai balloon to spare. Please tell me it's Larry.
They filled just the bottom part of the balloon with air to make it look just like the other ornamental balloons.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's why it was wrapped up like that. Okay.
So while it was a steel samurai balloon, it was made to look like a plain red balloon above water. Is that the long and short of it?
Knight, why was I not informed of this? Sorry, sir. We didn't think it was a pressing issue.
Indeed, you saw it and knew no different, correct?
Yes, I suppose so. Could he really have mistaken the Steel Samurai's pants for a plain red balloon?
Still, Mr. President, I struggle to see how you wouldn't have noticed something different about the balloon.
Of course. What's that outburst for? Now I remember. I could barely see the balloon.
You couldn't see it.
That's right, the wind was blowing too hard. Flags to the sides of the stage were flapping incessantly and blocking my view.
Is that so?
Nope, not from where you were. Yes, those two flags. They're being blown back towards me. There had been a strong wind blowing right around the time of the incident, strong enough to blow the flags in just such a fashion. But does that conflict with any of our understanding of the case? Yes, it does.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your testimony has revealed yet another contradiction.
It has?
Yes, a contradiction that could turn this entire case on its head.
That's a good point. When I arrived on the scene, the wind had died down and the flags were resting calmly for the most part. But if the wind had previously been blowing the flags as the president describes, a certain piece of evidence suddenly takes on a very different meaning. Which piece of evidence contradicts the stated conditions of the stage at the time of the incident?
Take that!
That!
Earlier we deduced that the bullet that struck the Steel Samurai balloon and the bullet that passed through the flag were one and the same. From these two things, we further deduce that the trajectory of the bullet must have taken.
Oh, even if the president is telling the truth, then that changes where the shots came from.
We concluded that our shooter must have fired from the left side of the spectator area. But if the flags were blowing as the president describes, our conclusion becomes quite different.
Yep. No way, if the flags were pointed in the other direction.
Exactly, our trajectory changes completely.
Whoops.
If we trace that trajectory back to its source, we can ascertain who really fired that shot.
Wait, but Mr. Edgeworth, that would mean we'll just have to find out what that means in the next episode. I don't know where they're going with this. I still haven't quite figured out who did it. Like I said, I think it's an inside job to some degree, but I don't know who. We'll just have to find out. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.